Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Michael J. Bunch. I'm an author working on my first dark fantasy novel. So today we're going to dive into a crucial aspect of crafting a captivating fantasy story, the setting. Now before we begin, I want to ask you all a question. How important do you think the setting is in a fantasy story? And share your opinions in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Is the setting as important as the plot? Is it more important? Less? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So as you might have guessed, in today's video we're going to discuss how to develop unique fantasy settings that will transport your readers to another world. We'll explore the key elements that make up a fantasy setting, look at some of the famous authors and what they have to say about the importance of setting, and provide you with several viable ways to create dynamic and immersive fantasy worlds. So sit back and relax, and let's dive into the world of fantasy settings. So first, let's talk about the elements that make up a fantasy setting. A well-crafted setting consists of several key components. One, it has geography. And this includes physical landscape, such as mountains, rivers, forests, and deserts. The geography of your world will shape the cultures, economies, and conflicts that exist within it. Number two is the climate. The weather patterns and seasons of your world will influence the way of life for its inhabitants, from the crops they grow to the clothes they wear. Number three, flora and fauna. The plants and animals that inhabit your world will add depth and realism to your setting. Consider how they might differ from those in our world and how they interact with the environment and the characters. Number four, history and lore. Every fantasy world has a rich history that shapes its present. Develop the legends, myths, and significant events that have occurred in your world's past to give it a sense of depth and authenticity. Number five, culture and society. The various races, societies, and cultures that exist within your world will each have their own customs, beliefs, and ways of life. Develop these aspects to create a diverse and dynamic setting. Number six, magic and technology. If your world includes magic or advanced technology, consider how it works, its limitations, and its impact on society. And now let's see what some of the famous authors on our list have to say about the importance of setting. First we have J.R.R. Tolkien, the author of The Lord of the Rings, and he once said, "I wisely started with a map and made the story fit." And this emphasizes the significance of having a well-developed setting as a foundation for your story. And next we have George R.R. Martin. He's known for A Song of Ice and Fire. He stated, "I want my readers to feel the heat of the sun on their faces, to smell the stink of the city's alleys, to hear the creak of a saddle and the whisper of a sword being drawn." And this highlights the importance of using sensory details to immerse readers in your fantasy world. Brandon Sanderson, the author of the Mistborn series and the Stormlight Archive, has emphasized the importance of creating unique and innovative magic systems that are deeply integrated into the world's setting. He has coined the term hard magic to describe magic systems with well-defined rules, limitations, which can greatly influence the culture, politics, and conflicts within the fantasy world. Sanderson has also spoken about the importance of world building in fantasy, which involves not only creating a detailed and consistent setting, but also considering how that setting shapes the characters and the story. He encourages authors to ask themselves questions like, how does the magic system affect the economy? How does the geography influence the politics? How do the cultural beliefs shape the characters' motivations and decisions? By considering these deeper connections between the setting and the other elements of the story, authors can create a more immersive and believable fantasy world that readers can lose themselves in. So, How can you properly develop a unique and engaging fantasy setting? Here are a few methods. 1. Start with a map. As Tolkien suggested, begin by creating a map of your world. This will help you visualize the geography and layout of your setting, making it easier to develop the other elements. 2. Drawing inspiration from real-world cultures and history. Research and incorporate elements from existing cultures and historical events to add depth and realism to your world. And 3. Use sensory details. As J.R.R. Martin emphasized, engage your reader's senses by describing the sights, sounds, smells, and textures of your world. And 4. Develop a consistent magic system. If your world includes magic, establish clear rules and limitations to maintain consistency and believability. Consider how the magic system influences the world's cultures, politics, and economy, as Brandon Sanderson suggests. Number 5, create conflict and tension. Use the elements of your setting to create natural conflicts and tension that will drive your story forward. Number 6, integrate the setting with the characters and plot. As you develop your setting, constantly ask yourself how it shapes and influences your characters and their actions. The setting should be a living, breathing part of your story, not just a backdrop. So your setting is a living and breathing entity that shapes and influences your characters and plot. A well-developed setting can transport your readers to another world, making them feel as though they are experiencing the story alongside your characters. So one way to make your setting feel more immersive is to incorporate it into your characters' everyday lives and conversations. Have your characters discuss the history, cultures, and magics of your world in a natural way, revealing bits of information that help bring the setting to life. This can be done through dialogue, internal monologue, or even through the descriptions of their surroundings. Another tip is to avoid info dumping large amounts of setting information all at once. Instead, reveal the details of your world gradually throughout the story, allowing readers to discover the setting alongside the characters. This creates a sense of mystery and intrigue, keeping readers engaged and eager to learn more. And as you develop your fantasy setting, don't be afraid to let your imagination run wild. The beauty of fantasy is that it allows us to create worlds that are limited only by our creativity. However, remember to keep your setting consistent and believable within the rules of logic that you've established. Inconsistencies can break the immersion and pull readers out of the story. And finally, remember that developing a rich and immersive fantasy setting takes time and effort. And don't expect to have everything figured out right away. And as you write and explore your world, new ideas and connections will emerge, helping you to refine and deepen your setting. Embrace the process and enjoy the journey of creating a unique and captivating fantasy world for your readers to explore. Well, that does it for today's video. If you found the information useful, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon below if you want to be notified anytime I post a video. If you'd like to join my mailing list or sign up to become a future ARC reader, I'll leave the link to my website in the description below. And thank you so much for watching, and keep on writing.